Welcome staff and faculty members. Thank you for taking this time to look at this presentation on Constructivism, a learning theory. My name is Tim Inglis. Please have a look at these 5 words and see if you can remember them. We'll touch on them very, very shortly. The outline for the presentation today is my personal discoveries and experiences with Constructivism, an overview of Constructivism, the benefits and limiting factors of this learning theory, and finally the application that can be made in the classroom for this model. Now, I'm sure most of you and your students would be able to remember these 5 words. Constructivism is more than just learning for the sake of learning, but it's also asking the why and the how. Socrates states, education is a kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. In this example, if we give our students an opportunity to seek their own understanding and their own meaning, they might realise the word star can go in front of each of those words and create a completely new meaning. Students can make their own connections that we as teachers can't always first interpret or understand. My own experience with Constructivism this year is typified in this example of putting materials on a table and asking my students to build something, be creative. That was the guide. My students were able to be active participants, and they were able to talk to each other, and they were able to put their own ideas together. Now, they came up with the idea of a heart, which was fantastic. It was something I did not even fathom. If we give our students a chance in control of their learning and us act as a guide, this is what Constructivism is about. Giving our students an opportunity to learn while we sometimes just guide. Inquiry-based learning, as it shows on the diagram, is an important aspect of Constructivism. It has been associated with some of Socrates' early learning behaviour. It looks at posing problems, asking questions, doing scenarios. One of the main assumptions with Constructivism is that the learner is active in their process of acquiring knowledge, and they use their prior knowledge and experience to get this new understanding. There have been 2 approaches, a cognitive and a social Constructivism, that are mainly looked at by theorists. There is by Dewey and Vygotsky that looks at the social context and the importance that plays, while Piaget looks more at the cognitive processes and the internal structure of knowledge. Duchenne in 2016, an educational psychology of learning and teaching, addresses both approaches and understands they both value the social interaction of peers and significant others in cognitive development. This aligns with my own belief that learning is social. It is about working together and understanding. It is not receiving information, but it is giving out information to others as we explore that together. On this slide, we can see some of the strengths of Constructivism. It is relevant, it is meaningful, it makes sense to the student. It is active, they're not just listening and hearing, they're getting involved. It is student-centered. We, as I said earlier, we act as guides. We give control to the students to an extent, and they have a chance to seek their own understanding, share their thoughts and feelings with other classmates and peers. A limitation we see with Constructivism is the education and the competence of teachers in providing this model. It is quite difficult, but I encourage all teachers looking at Constructivism to work together in this, to understand our role as teachers. We're there as guiding influences, not as teaching, telling the students what to do. Another issue is just the complexity and the really difficult topics that students may not have any experience with. In this instance, sometimes it is useful to teach the student as a basic method and then look to build on that with the constructivism method. Some of the applications we are looking at have been adapted and applied from Winchell's 2002 article, which is in the bubble, as you can see. It looks at a fashion on students' ideas and learning, which is learning, and how we can make it relevant and meaningful. Also encouraging a various use of mediums such as computer-based, drawing, arts, anything like that. We present it in thought-provoking and problem-based activities, which is, again, inquiry-based learning. So do scenarios or reenactments. Looking at learning to apply the knowledge to various diverse contexts. So the focus isn't on what is right and what is wrong, it is understanding the problems that we face and your own perspectives of this. And another application that I think is vital is a chance to reflect on what we've learned, what we've understood, and what others have talked about to help consolidate our learning. Is constructivism for our classroom. These two quotes really highlight how constructivism is for our classrooms. It is about meaningful learning for our students. It is about offering them a chance to take control of their own learning and apply their own understanding. We're not filling empty vessels in learning. We as teachers can guide our students as they understand themselves in this model. Thank you for your time.